Well, one of the big questions I got this year was, I have an old stone patio and it's starting to look kind of ragged. It's got weeds growing up through it. There's a lot of ants burrowing through it. How do I fix it up, make it look real good? Well, I've got my friends here from Alliance Designer Products, Craig and Mike, and they're going to show us what we can do to take that patio and spruce it up looking real good. Craig, how are we doing this morning?
We're doing good, Henry. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. So what's our project today? We got this patio here. How are we going to go about fixing it up?
Well, first thing of all, we're going to remove the weeds. And by doing this, we're going to remove it maybe in an unconventional way. We're going to use a pressure washer instead of some people might think you have to scrape it out or vacuum it out. The pressure washer does a nice job, and Mike is going to show us how to do that.
How deep do we have to get the soil out there?
We should get it out to the bedding material, but not undermine the stone. It shouldn't destroy the bedding material.
Okay, so if our stone is an inch or two thick, we want to get that
yes,
inch or two out.
Exactly.
Okay. So now we've got all of our old soil out of there. What's our next step?
We have to make it dry. We have to wait till it's dry.
Okay.
And then we're going to apply a material Gator dust, which is a polymeric stone dust. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to broom it in dry. We're going to activate it with water afterwards, after we've cleaned it off with a blower, and we're good to go.
All right, now you said it has to be dry. Why does it have to be that dry before we put our dust in?
Because it's a water-activated material, so what happens is if you put it down on a damp surface or if there's any moisture there, it can start activating material and you can have a residue from it.
All right, we've got natural stone here, so we've got some pretty wide joints here, Craig. Will this stay in those nice wide joints?
Yes, it will. This is a different type of material. It's a polymeric stone dust, so it will do larger joints from a ½ inch up to 4 inches in size. And it's different than polymeric sand. Some people try to do this sort of thing with a polymeric sand. Polymeric sand is more designed for pavers and for smaller joints. Yep. This is material designed specifically for natural stone, and it'll do the larger joints.
What are the benefits we're going to get by having the Gator dust between our stones?
Well, you're going to greatly reduce insect burrowing, you're going to greatly reduce the weeds that you're going to have, and you're not going to have erosion problems from it. And it's very flexible, so you have very good benefit. Freeze thaw isn't a problem.
Will it still allow the water to drain through? It won't
very little. The water has to drain off of it. It should run off. It should be a slope on the surface so the water runs off of it. It's not very permeable, but it does absorb a bit of water.
All right. It looks like Mike is all set with his power washer up there. We're almost ready to go.
I think so.
Let's get started on our project this morning.
Are you ready, Mike?
Ready.
Craig, it looks like Mike did a great job of getting rid of all those weeds and dirt.
I agree with you 100%. Mike always does a great job.
Wow, look at that. He's right down, like you said, you got it right down to that base material.
Well, you know, we used the pressure washer. Mike used the pressure washer, but we did have to remove some by hand as well.
You did?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I can imagine there was some little pieces of grass in there.
That's right.
So now it's nice and dry.
Yes.
We had a great day for this.
Fantastic day.
Nice and dry. Now what's Mike going to do?
Mike's going to open up the bags, start spreading the material around, and then prepare it. We'll brush it in, tamper the joints a little bit, and then he's going to clean it off well, and then he's going to...
Any special technique to sweeping the joints in?
Well, actually you can use any kind of broom you want to brush it initially, but a soft broom does a better job of removing the fine material and finalizing the job.
When he's sweeping, Craig, is he getting like level with the top of the stone, or is he trying to?
He's going to be 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch lower than the tops of the stones, and that's to give it some room for the water to go as well.
Okay, so that's why you're saying a soft brush would be better. It can get down in between the crevices?
A little bit of that, but it's mainly to clean the tops of the stones to help before he blows it with the leaf blower. That's what it's for.
Okay, and that was going to be my next point. You need the leaf blower?
The leaf blower helps a lot because there's a very fine material in there and you want to remove as much as possible before you activate it with water.
If I did leave the fines there, Craig, what would be my problem?
You would have a haze from it.
You'd have a haze?
Yeah. So the cleaner you are with the job, the better the outcome of the job will be. But if you did have a haze, it's a temporary issue. It will dissipate with a couple of good hard rainfalls. the acidity
Okay,
of the
so
rain.
it's not like I've ruined the product
no.
or...
There's no Portland cement in this thing, so it's not a permanent residue.
And because this has got the larger, this is a stone dust versus a sand. You were
That's
explaining
correct.
to me earlier the
Yes.
difference between the two.
Yes, it does the larger joints, so it is a bit coarser material. It's a little bit different formula as well. It's not the same as using polymeric sand. It came about because people were trying to use polymeric sand on these types of jobs, and it doesn't stand up. It works initially, but it fails quite quickly. So using this polymer, it'll last for a number of years, no problem.
So you told us earlier about the 3 times with the watering. Why is that so important, Craig?
Well, the first time is to make sure that the material stays put, and the second time is, and third time are to help activate the material, but it also gives you a bit of a rinsing effect so that you have a cleaner job.
So we need that much water to activate all this material.
Yes, it's important that the activation is done, the 3 steps are done within about 5 minutes of each other, and particularly on a warm day like today, we're going to have a lot of help from the sun drying the material, so we want to be quick with it.
Well, we're going to finish up here. We're going to let Mike keep his work going. We'll be right back. You're watching Homework with Hank.